So this past weekend, I went to Florida, and on Monday, which would be yesterday, the 12th, I went to Kennedy Space Center. So this is just a recap of what I did and some commentary about some of the cool stuff that I found there. So this is the rocket garden at the Kennedy Space Center. They have a lot of rockets on display. This is the Delta II. It was an American expendable launch vehicle that was first launched in 1989 and it retired in 2018. Flew over 150 missions with a high success rate. Because there are so many moving parts at the Kennedy Space Center, they need a good way to transport all these materials, and they have like a cool highway system. So the building coming up is called the Vehicle Assembly Building, or the VAB. It was built between 1963 and 1965 to support the space program with all the rockets, because they need to actually have a place taller than the rockets where they can build these like massive spacecraft. And the VAB has 4 giant cranes, and each of them are capable of lifting 325 tons, which enabled them to build the rockets. Also, they can accommodate not only like the space shuttle, but also the Saturn V and future SLS rockets for the Artemis program. Before the weather got bad, I took a bus tour to the Vehicle Assembly Building. This is one of the biggest buildings in the world. It's 58 stories tall, but it's like 1 story. So a couple fun facts about this building. It's so big that the blue part of the American flag on the building can fit an NBA court. It can also fit the Coliseum on its roof with room to spare. And each of the stripes on the American flag can fit like a commercial bus riding down each stripe. Just kind of crazy to think about. Kennedy Space Center is located within the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge, which is a protected nature reserve. That's why you can see like the alligators and snake signs here. This is the Saturn V rocket. It is the most powerful rocket ever built. It's also the tallest and the heaviest. It stands at 111 meters or 363 feet. It has 3 stages, and it had 13 launches that it conducted, and all of them were successful. The picture quality on this is low-key buns, so I'm just going to use a Lego set. This is the Eagle lunar module. It was part of Apollo 11. Apollo 11 is obviously the most famous and the first moon landing. This is the actual landing capsule on the Apollo 14 mission. So the capsule is nicknamed Kitty Hawk, and its heat shield, it can withstand re-entry temperatures of up to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. These are the official Apollo emblems from Apollo 1 to Apollo 18. So the Apollo 1 mission tragically did not go into space because of a cabin fire, and they later created the emblem to honor the lost crew. So this is the Atlantis space shuttle. Its first flight was on October 3rd, 1985, and its final flight was July 8th, 2011. So it flew 33 missions and spent over 306 days in space. The cool thing about the space shuttles is they were designed to lift off like a rocket, but land like a plane, so they were reusable. Here are all the space shuttles used in NASA's space shuttle program. The Enterprise was actually a test shuttle, so it never flew in space. It was only used for atmospheric flight tests. Challenger and Columbia tragically exploded. So Columbia disintegrated on February 1st, 2003, and Challenger only lasted 10 missions before it exploded shortly after launch on January 28th, 1986, where all 7 crew were lost. Overall, all the exhibits are really well done, and I would definitely recommend that you go check out the Kennedy Space Center. The admission fee is a little bit on the higher end, like it's a little bit pricey, but I think it's definitely worth the money because you can like do a lot of cool things. There's so much stuff to see. For example, there was a space shuttle simulator included with the admission. It was kind of like a roller coaster, but it also had like other interesting effects. So that was a recap of my time at the Kennedy Space Center. I thought it was pretty cool, and I highly recommend. You're probably tired of hearing me yap for like 5 minutes, so I'm gonna just sign out.